Hey everybody, Cloud9 here, and as promised, I'm going to do my Spitfire Collection video. I'm also testing out a new camera at this point. I'm in the market for looking for a new camera, so there's my old one. This is a Kodak Easy Share, and so I'm going to see how Kodak fare, and a bunch of people are actually nice enough to lend me their cameras, so let's go ahead. We've got to step over the table here. This is actually take 3. I kept trying to figure out how to do this, and I kept waving my hands around. Then I remembered I bought this brand new tripod, so let me just get this locked in here. Come on. Tab in the bottom there. There we go. Might as well use this new camera since I've got it. So there we are. We are locked in and ready to go. So here is my Spitfire collection. I'll just go down the line here and just talk a little bit about each one of them. And yeah, this is a collection I've been doing for quite a few years now. It's not a very big collection, but something I add to maybe every few years. I keep adding on to it. I should be building a lot more, especially since I learned that there's one I was going to buy from Airfix, and I can't find it anymore, and I found out because Airfix is discontinuing it, so I missed out on that one. No biggie. So I'm going to start here with the first one. This is the Bren Gun Spitfire. Let me just pull this out. This is my recent one. You guys saw this, so I don't need to talk too much about this one, but it's got a lovely new home right here. That's the most recent addition to my collection. So if you haven't seen this one and you're new to watching the video, this is just a couple videos back. I got a pack of Beeman's gum for obvious reasons, and in the back here is the Revel Snap Kit Spitfire. Some of you may recall this one. I did do a video on this years ago. I found this at a dollar store. It's pre-painted, and this is mostly just a filler kit right now. You can see it's missing a rondelle under the wing. Yeah, the colors are off, and the worst part is it's actually bigger than 72nd scale. So it's not actually 72nd scale, but I just keep it here to fill in the space. But basically, if I get I think I can fit in about 2 more, and this guy's going to be out. So no real worries there on that front. Let's twist it around here just a little more. Sorry about that. That probably sounds really weird. Here is my favorite model kit of all time to build. This is Airfix's Mark 1 Spitfire. This is the old tooled one. Again, this is my favorite kit of all time. And this is actually the one that really got me into building models. My dad bought this for me. I don't know, maybe I was 10 or 11, maybe even 12. I think I was younger than that, probably 10. Anyways, he bought this for me, and I put it together and threw it in a drawer. And like months later, maybe even a year later, I don't know, I just kind of snapped and wanted to build it. I pulled it out of the drawer. The propeller was broken. The antenna was broken. I was never able to properly secure that back on there. Probably could do it now actually, but I'm gonna kind of leave it like this. I searched through the instructions, and this was the first time I'd ever used color references. If I had a green paint, I'd use green or brown, but no, I went and actually bought out the Humbrol colors, and here you go. The only thing I did was make it white underneath because I didn't like the kind of greenish color that they had at the time. I always liked this because it looked like the ones in the Battle of Britain movie. But again, this is my favorite kit of all time. I actually have one in storage, so I just love it. The one in the back here, I picked this up at the Nanton Lancaster Museum a couple of years ago. This is Tammy's Spitfire Mark 1. This is definitely the best Spitfire kit on the market, I think. As far as 72nd scale kits go, this is a beautiful, beautiful model. This was, I think, one of the first times I used. No, this wasn't one of the first times I used. I was gonna say I used Humbrol, Model Master instead of Humbrol. I did do a video on this one, and the only downside to it, I think, Rob pointed out that the rondelles are kind of small, and I really do agree with him on that. But this is a cool kit. This is DWO, and you got to remember that in a moment here. So let me just put this one back. It also has the 30 calibers sticking out on the wings. It's kind of cool. Just put those there. And let me turn this again. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. I can't remember how to turn this silly thing. I haven't quite gotten adjusted. There we go. Okay. This was a recommendation by Rob Basic Modeling because he said that this was the worst Spitfire kit on the market, and I had to try it for myself and see if it really was the worst. This is Aries Mark 5, and should probably be holding it like this. Yeah, I painted up in this desert camouflage. This is all Model Master colors. This is the azure blue. It's a very, very beautiful color. Had a lot of fun building this. And like I said, I had to test it out and see how bad it was for myself. It is pretty bad, but there's actually one I think that's worse. There's a couple of worse ones out there, but it is pretty gnarly to just look at and to build. But still, very, very fun kit nonetheless. And this is actually in a video as well. I really like to build another desert Spitfire. You know, with this beautiful Volks intake in the front there, and you know, have a little bit of a more accurate Spitfire. This one here is the same Airfix one again, the Mark 1, but it's just built more correctly without the... It's got more correct colors. The Humbrol's green is a little too bright, so this is a darker, more correct green. And it's kind of just sitting here as again, just a more correct one, except for those green under wheels there. Those should be the same sky color, or a different green. This was the wrong green that I had at the time. But yeah, it's just the same one. My dad found that for me. He found them for like $2 each. And I think my brother built one. I think he only bought 2, maybe 3. I think I built one of them. Anyways. Moving on here, I'm actually going to just move the tripod because when I turn the camera it's actually messing up with the lighting. This is the Airfix new tooled one. I never did a review on this one or a build up on this one, but it's an absolutely gorgeous, well engineered model kit from Airfix. See, there's that same ugly green on the underside. This is the first time I ever did a panel line washing. And I did it, and then a couple years later I really got into wanting to know how to do panel lines, and I never remembered how I did it. So I could never do it again. Now I've figured it out how I did it, and, well, as you guys know, I do them all the time. So this is cool, because this is here, DWK, right there, okay, right? So check this out. Remember the Tammy one right there? So check this out. This is my Battle of Britain book. These two flew together. This is the Battle of Britain by Richard Overy. Here's DWO from Tamia, and here's DWK from Airfix. Oddly enough, the Airfix kit is incorrect by using this canopy here. It should be like the Tamia one right there. That's nitpicking, and I don't really mind so much because it's an awesome model. I haven't built a second one since. I don't know why. Again, this is the one that I missed out on. They had a kit with the twin prop, and they don't make that one anymore. So I missed out on that. So I'm going to be scouring eBay for that one. And this was the first Spitfire I did for my channel here. This is Rebels Mark 5, and you know, I really like this. This was the best Spitfire I'd ever built at the time. And looking back at it now, I think it's still a really good kit, with the exception of the nose. The spinner is absolutely incorrect in every way, and I'd probably go ahead and build this one again if I had a replacement spinner. Also, you can look at that, the propellers, they're not quite, yeah, you can kind of see that. They're not shaped properly. They don't quite align up. Still, it's a pretty good kit, especially if you have replacement parts for the nose there. This is a really, really fun one. This is the this is the Airfix Mark 1 again, the old tooled one. So yeah, I've got quite a few. This is the only one I have with a pilot in it. And you can see here it has yellow rondelles on the wings. This is the James Mays Spitfire build. James Mays is a media host. I don't know exactly what you call him, TV presenter for the show Top Gear and a bunch of other things. But he did a series. This is where I actually learned about James Mays. It was called Toy Stories, and I wish I could watch them on YouTube because they were so cool. And he built a 1/1 scale Spitfire out of this kit. It was to build a 1/1 scale model kit. It was really cool. And this was the one that they built. The same markings, same tooling, everything else. And And so this is the kit here. I'm just going to pull this off the wall on the side here. This was actually a gift from my sister. This is it. This is what it looked like when I bought it. And so I've kept this one in the bag as kind of a souvenir. But yeah, you can see it's all blue. Kind of weird and pretty cool. So yeah, that one's not going to ever be built because I've already built one. And I actually built this one for Rob at Basic Modeling. At the time he had a contest going on. There's that same green. At the time he had a building contest going, and I missed it by 1 day because I didn't take into account the time change of the Earth spinning. So my Sunday midnight was like, you know, I think it was Sunday midnight the contest ended, and by that point I was, you know, way too late. So unfortunately I never got to enter that one. It's also kind of a sad model because of the blue plastic. I think this was like 3 or 4 layers of paint on this one model. It was a lot of work to do. I still absolutely love it. This is the new tooled Mark 9. I think I showed this in one of my recent videos. I did do a video on this one. This is one where I masked off the D-Day stripes, and this was when I was starting out my YouTube channel, and I actually got a lot of attention for masking these off myself because it was, I kept getting questions from people on how do you do this, and so I kind of got a bit of notoriety on that, which was kind of cool. So yeah, here's the John E. Johnson Mark 9, and they have this kit out again. It's not the Johnny Johnson version though. It is the same kit, but it has different decals and different box art, which I just found out a little while ago. I thought maybe it was something different inside the kit, but it's not. It's exactly the same, just a new decal sheet. And box art, actually. So I'm going to, yeah, let's move this down here. Come on. Okay. We're down to the last few here that I have. Which should I start with? I guess I'll start with this guy. This is the Russian twin Cedar. This was my Christmas build. You guys saw me do that one. That was a conversion. Really happy to have a twin Cedar. I actually found another one that I'm probably going to do. I have to buy the kit. It's kind of a harder kit to find, but that's not a big issue for me. So you guys remember this one? It's quite simple. Converted it out of this old. This is the old, the new tooled Airfix Mark 9. Very, very nice kit. Had a lot of fun building that one. Okay, this is one of the worst Spitfire kits ever, and I bought this one years and years ago. Actually, my dad bought it for me. And this is the vintage Airfix Mark 9, and this is one of the worst model kits ever produced. The wings come in one piece. The shape is totally incorrect. The canopy is too small and incorrect. The shape is just wrong all over. There's this nice big, you know, sink mark there in the spinner. The wheels are just too short. It's awful. But you know what? It's really cool because this is basically Airfix's one of their first model kits that they produced. And I heard a story, and I have yet to hear it verified, but the owner of Airfix was friends with Johnny Johnson, and he built this model kit with him in mind, so people would be able to build Johnson's Spitfire. And so if you ever find this old tooled Spitfire, it's quite an eyesore. I love having it in the collection, however, because it's really cool to see where this model, you know, where it used to be to where Airfix is nowadays with something as beautiful and streamlined as this. So it's kind of cool just to have the comparison between the two. Now, second last one here, I'm going to pull it off the stage here, off screen rather. You can see it waving there. This is their Airfix's new Photo Reconnaissance Spitfire. I can't remember what mark it is. But anyways, yeah, it's this nice blue. It's a Photo Reconnaissance aircraft. That's what the PR is for. It's got 2 little cameras there on the bottom in the stripes there. And what they used to do is they used to take 2 pictures at the same time, and they would make 3D images out of this so they could see, how big buildings were, the depth of hills and valleys and stuff like that. It's really cool technology that they used to do. It doesn't have the bulletproof window here in the front, that little kind of horse shape there. It's just curved all around, and it's also more flat here in this line. It doesn't kind of go up. So it does have quite a few differences. It had to be pressurized. It's a really cool model to have. I painted this one out of the box because I did not like the colors that came with the original. There was two choices to paint this. There was a Swedish and a British version, and I can't remember which was which, but one was gray and the other one was gray and then little bits of gray on the top and upper wings. Very boring. So I found this beautiful blue one and made this one instead. I'm much happier with this one. Now, this is the one I would consider to be probably the worst Spitfire of all time. This is PM Models Float Plane Spitfire. Some of you are rolling your eyes because you know about this model. It's quite a sad model. It's totally inaccurate in so many respects. You can see the wings are kind of V-ing downward like this instead of being kind of straight. The cockpit is just too small. There's a lot of problems with it. But the cool thing about it is it was one of the first kits that came with floats and all the parts that you need to build the float plane. But what a lot of people were doing, and again, Rob Basic Modeling was doing this, is he was buying this Mark V Spitfire, and he was taking all the parts off of it, and he tossed it onto the Italy Mark V because it comes with the Volks intake in the front, right here. So you got this really nice looking Spitfire, and the Italy Spitfire also came with, I think it comes with the 4 blades. I think it comes with at least the option that you can do that. Anyways, came with a lot of parts to do this, and what was funny is after Rob built that model and he put it on the web, I think about 6 months later I started seeing these model kit popping up, and it was the Italy and PM models like stuck together. People were taking out the floats and the little stabilizer fin there, and they were throwing them in with the Italy Spitfire and selling them up like that. It's just kind of funny. Yeah, that he was kind of ahead of the times. I don't know if people were ever copying him or they just had the same idea as him. Anyways, guys, that is my Spitfire collection. Like I said, I'm adding to it kind of not all the time, but whenever I find one that I like. And yeah, this is just my collection. This is just my fun to have with Spitfire. It's tied for my favorite aircraft of all time. I really love it. I really love having this collection. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And yeah, there will be more Spitfire builds in the future, and it's just such a beautiful plane, such a fun collection to have. And yeah, don't worry, this wasn't all done in one sitting. This was over years and years of practice and mishaps and whatever. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. This is Rebels of Cloud 9, and I'll see you guys next time.